Hi, gang. Bob Boving here to bring you The Mystery Project. And I hope you're ready for this. It's the final episode of Clean Sweep. Membertou County is being plagued with burglaries. In a rural community, that can be tough to stop. Calls for a creative idea, and Bonnie Marsden specializes in creative solutions. The play is called Response Time. Deborah Allen and Richard Donat star as Bonnie and Ben Marsden.
But you didn't say that when...
Janet?
Just a second. Come on in, Bonnie. Yes, I understand. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
What happened?
The police car... Corporal Kowalczuk's out back, measuring footsteps and taking pictures. Last night, while I was in the city, somebody broke in and robbed me. Computer, VCR, all my jewelry.
What a sin.
Oh, insurance will cover it. But my friendly available agent just informed me my deductible's now gone up to $2,500.
But you've got that amazing security system with the police alarm and all.
Oh, it worked just fine. But by the time the police got here, the thieves were gone. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have a heavy cleaning day. I swept up most of the glass, but I have to get to work.
Oh, that's all right. I got nothing booked this afternoon, so I'll just keep going till it's done.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Marsden.
Corporal?
I just have to take a few more Polaroids, and then I'm done.
I'm already late for work. Bonnie will let you out, if she can get the door to close.
I'm sorry, Janet.
Thanks, Bonnie.
So, is it the same people?
Which same people?
The ones who've been robbing houses all along the back roads of Membertou County.
Do you know anything about them?
Only what I hear on the news or in coffee shops. Some bunch of slick operators is turning Membertou County inside out. You can't seem to catch them.
It would appear to be the same perpetrators every time. They use the same method based on one simple principle.
What's that?
Internal combustion engines are loud and sound travels well in the country.
So,
say you have an expensive security system such as this one. Tied straight into a central dispatch is tied straight to the area's police dispatcher. Immediate response, right?
Right.
Except in a rural area, immediate might be 10 minutes, 5 minutes at best. So, as soon as the lookout hears a patrol car coming, our perpetrators jump on their all-terrain vehicles and disappear onto the old logging roads winding through the woods.
Well, they can't carry much away on ATVs.
Oh, you can fit a lot of expensive articles into backpacks or ATV carry-alls. So, no matter how quickly the patrolling officer gets to the scene, the only result is hearing distant ATVs disappearing through the bush with a couple of minutes lead and intimate knowledge of the network of back trails.
There must be some way you can catch them. A helicopter. A helicopter could keep sight of ATVs running away through the woods.
It could, but budget restraints make it impossible for me to requisition a helicopter for such a relatively trivial...
Trivial? It sure isn't trivial to the people that live around here. They can't even take the kids to town for an evening movie without worrying what they'll find when they get back.
I know. But the only hope I have of capturing this gang of housebreakers is to somehow eliminate that couple of minutes between when they hear my vehicle and when I arrive. And I just can't seem to find a way to do that.
I'm going out to see the classes.
Okay, honey, supper will be in about half an hour.
Okay.
Ben? Would you happen to have heard anything about who those guys might be doing ATV raids?
What? Hell no. Maybe I know a few guys who've been known to pick up things that fell off the backs of trucks. But breaking into people's homes, that's a whole different kind of person.
Sorry, I should have known better. Just, it's so frustrating. Nobody who lives near the woods is safe from them. There must be some way the Mounties can patrol that isn't on foot or in a too loud vehicle.
Well, they like to brag the RCMP always get their man. Eventually.
That's it.
What?
Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
What? That's crazy.
Not so crazy. And I know of a certain riding stable in Membertou County that'd be just the ticket to supply the horses. And a bit of riding training to a Mountie who never came closer to a horse than watching the musical ride.
Ashland Stables, Rose Cop. Bonnie, you can't go mixing yourself up.
Well, you're the one that found out Corporal Kowalczuk's first name was Ihor, and that's how we figured out what nobody else in the county knows. If only you could have seen his face when I sprung it on him in the parking lot last summer.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Marsden.
Hello, Ihor.
Oh. Well, I guess it had to come out eventually. It could have been worse. I used to go to school with a guy named Ihor Boinkel. Well, I have a nice lasagna waiting by the microwave. Have a good evening, Mrs. Marsden.
I think Ihor is a perfectly nice name. So is Rose.
Rose?
Rose McPherson or Rose Coffin again? You're crazy about her, aren't you? She's crazy about you.
Crazy would be the operative word.
Rose didn't tell me. I just stumbled across a couple of coincidences. No one else knows.
Well, since you already... This is just between you and me.
Deal.
You see, last New Year's Eve there was a social, a dance. I'd got orders to use up some accumulated holidays, so I dropped by to pass the time. It was the first night Rose had gone out as a single woman in years, so she was a bit overexcited. I gave her a lift home and stayed for 2 days. And then we began to realize...
You put her husband in jail for murder.
I'd say you hit the nail right on the head. Maybe if that had been 3 or 4 years ago, instead of barely a year now. Or maybe if I was just a city cop in the same situation. But I'm not. I'm detachment commander of the local RCMP. Detachment commander. And it wouldn't be a very comfortable position for Rose either. Well, Bonnie, you have a habit of stumbling across half the secrets in Membertou County. I should have known mine wouldn't be any different. I'd better be getting home.
Corporal?
Have a good evening now.
It's been 2.5 years now since Corporal Kowalczuk put away Rose's husband. Seems like enough time has passed that Rose and Corporal Kowalczuk could start seeing each other.
I don't know, Bonnie. Seems to me that Rose and Kowalczuk are grown-ups, and if they wanted to get together, they would.
Corporal Kowalczuk's not a grown-up. He's an oversized Boy Scout. Anyway, can't hurt to present him with the opportunity.
Horses? Are you pulling my leg, Mrs. Marsden?
You and your constables could cover a lot more ground than on foot, and a lot quieter than with a vehicle. And if the housebreakers do hear you coming, they'll think it's just a moonlight trail ride passing by.
That is the goofiest idea I've ever... You know, it just might work.
And I know of a good place where you could get the horses and a bit of expert help with riding them. Ashland Stables.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's the logical choice. It's by far the closest riding stables to the cottage country where most of the break-ins are happening. And Rose knows all there is to know about the back trails through the woods where she guides trail rides.
That'd be a lot to ask her.
I'll ask her. If she says okay, I'll call you. Then you can call her back.
All right, then. Thank you.
And what did Corporal Kowalczuk say?
He said that'd be a lot to ask of you.
Not too much. I live here, too. Why didn't he call me and ask me himself?
I think he maybe didn't want you to have to tell him you didn't want to talk to him.
I wouldn't have said that.
Well, sometimes, guys don't know.
Neither do girls. But listen, do you really think this will work? I mean, using horses to stop the break-ins?
I don't know. But since nobody's come up with a better idea, it's worth a shot. I'll call Corporal Kowalczyk and tell him to call you. And thanks.
No, thank you.
Bye now. Well, that's that.
It is?
Yep. Now all I have to do is tell Corporal Kowalczyk the coast is clear. And we can just carry on with our lives and see what happens.
Mommy, it's for you.
Thanks, honey. I'll get it.
It sounds like the police.
Hello?
Mrs. Marsden, it's
Oh, hello, Corporal.
sorry to call you in the evening.
Oh, that's all right. I don't keep business hours anymore.
I got your message and proceeded. You've been so helpful already, I hate to... But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you for another favor. A big one.
Oh?
Well, I've arranged things with Rose for Saturday night.
That's good.
There hasn't been a predictable pattern to the break-ins, but Saturday nights have been the most common.
The most likely night for people to be away from home.
This Saturday will be our last chance for some time. Next week's the beginning of hunting season. And my immediate problem is I only have 3 constables. I've talked one into double shifting, but I can't in all conscience have less than 2 patrol cars on the road on a Saturday night. So that only leaves 1 constable to come with me.
But didn't you say there were 3 guys doing the break-ins?
Could be 4, maybe 2 with the same shoe size. Under normal circumstances, 4 perpetrators and 2 officers wouldn't be a problem. We do carry guns. But in this situation, there's just too many opportunities for the suspects to slip into the woods with only a glimpse caught. If I tried to request extra manpower for such a harebrained idea, that is, I don't think your idea is harebrained, but...
That's okay.
There is such a thing, though, as an auxiliary officer, people from the community.
Yeah, Darcy did it one winter when she was in high school.
Well, then you know they're not there to actually get involved in a situation, just a presence and an extra pair of eyes and ears. There are people already in that program I could call on, but with such a unique idea as yours, once the word got out, it would spread far and fast. As far, perhaps, as the perpetrators were hoping to surprise. You and Ben already know about it and have kept it to yourselves.
Me and Ben?
All that I would ask you to do is stay in the background with a camcorder. You would both be issued uniform shirts with no badges or insignia.
Ben? In a Mountie shirt?
They do come in extra large.
Oh, it'd be worth it just to see that. And with a video camera.
Just lower your head, Violet. That's a good girl.
Hello, Rose.
Hello, Ivor.
I guess I'm the first here. Well, I guess that's obvious. The constable's coming in his own vehicle. It's been a long time.
It seemed long while it was passing, but now it seems like it was just this morning.
Yeah. These the horses we'll be taking out?
Yeah, big black ones for Ben Marsden.
Figures.
And I'll be riding this one, Bluey.
Bluey?
She's kind of a special horse, brung out here for some rodeo displays, and I'm just boarding her till the owner can get her shipped back out west. The rest I saddled up her homebred. Good legs, but easy going. So long as you don't fall off the saddle, they'll take care of you.
That sounds about my speed. You know, when I first got posted in Nova Scotia, some of the horses looked the same as ones I'd see from the highway out on the prairies. 30 below, and these shaggy, chunky, square-headed little buggers are standing around in the middle of a blizzard. I said, "Come off it, Kowalczyk, you don't know a damn thing about horses." Then I was reading up on the history of the county, and I found out they used to bring in trainloads of wild horses from the prairies. I was kind of proud of myself.
You got good eyes.
Rose, The reason I showed up a little early is, I've been working for some time to try and change my situation. That is, if your situation hasn't changed.
It hasn't.
Thank you. And when it came for sure that I was going to be seeing you tonight, I pushed the powers that be for an answer and finally got one this morning.
Looks like the Marsdens.
I'll talk to you at the end of the night if that's okay.
More than okay, you. Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Evening.
You're buckled up pretty tight for such a warm night, Ben. Got a cold or something?
No. Sooner we can get on these horses and safely into the woods, sooner I can unzip my jacket. Anybody I know sees me wearing a police shirt, I'll never hear the end of it.
We're just waiting on the constable.
Ain't that always the way? Posse can't saddle up till a deputy finds his boots.
Okay?
You all right, Bonnie?
Okay. Your horses are all both neck reined and direct reined. You can turn them by tugging on the rein or resting the rein against the side of their necks. But the rest of the time, hold the reins away from their necks or they won't know what you're doing. These guys will tend to just follow in line behind me anyways. So what's the plan, Corporal?
First, we have to get to a relatively central location.
I know just the place.
Yeah, come on.
Head 'em up and move 'em out.
Okay, here's the drill. Since the perpetrators probably have a scanner to monitor their RCMP channel, I've rigged up 2 sets of ordnance maps with every home in the general area labeled. Dispatcher has 1 set, and I've got the other. All the dispatcher has to do is to transmit, say C23, which will mean nothing to anyone else listening in, and I'll locate it on my map.
Keep your knees flexed, everybody.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Should have brought along another thermos.
I got a couple extra in my saddlebags. Moonlight trail rides, all right.
7E31. Repeat. 7E31.
Map 7, E31. Rose?
That's the Ducharme place.
Okay, what's the trouble?
All right. There's an old logging road that winds behind it. At a trot, we can get there in 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Well, couldn't they get the place cleaned out and be gone in 10 minutes?
They probably grabbed and bagged the obvious articles in the first 30 seconds. But now they can take their time ransacking for hidden treasures until the lookout hears a vehicle roaring up the road. And they won't hear one soon. The highway patrol cars aren't going to respond to anything until they hear from me.
This should come out just in back of... Yeah, there's the house.
Constable, can you see the lookout at the end of the drive?
Affirmative, Corporal.
That's your takedown. Ben, you see the ATVs? I guess they still have their keys in them for a quick start.
I thought they'd leave them running.
Then how would they hear a vehicle coming up the road?
Oh.
Your detail, Ben, is just to snatch the keys out of all the ATVs. If the suspects come running before you've got all the keys, leave the rest and just get out of the way.
Sure.
Bonnie, camcorder ready?
Just point and shoot, right?
Rose, you stay here with Bonnie and the horses and hold the spotlight on the scene. Turn it on when I shout now, okay?
Okay.
Now!
That one's getting away.
Here, hold the spotlight.
But I can't. Go, Bluey. Ha! Go! Go!
Hands behind your back, you. Thank you, sir. Sit him down with the others, Constable. I thought I told you to stay back with Bonnie.
You did. But you didn't tell Bluey. Told you she was a special horse.
Champion cutting horse. After spending her life cutting longhorn steers out of a herd, this was a piece of cake.
Piece of cake. You'd better head into the detachment and help with the arrest reports, Constable.
Okay, Corporal.
We could give you a hand with the horses.
It's okay. Me and Corporal Kowalchuk can get them stripped off and bedded down.
You've done more than enough for one night, Bonnie. You too, Ben. Thanks a lot.
Oh, that's all right. If those crooks hadn't got caught tonight, maybe it would have been our house they hit next. If we had anything worth stealing. See yous.
Can I take off this damn shirt now?
If you like, but I want you to know. You look some handsome in it.
Well,
as I was saying a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Well, I've been working for a long time to get this through the bureaucracy and the chain of command, and finally it came through. I'm getting transferred.
Transferred? And what the hell do you expect me to do? Sell everything off and move to a Nuvik or something?
Frig, you!
Rose, wait!
I have waited. Hello?
Mrs. Marsden, it's...
Oh, hello, Corporal Kowalchuk.
After you've done me so many favors, I feel guilty asking for another, but I wonder if you and Ben could do witness duty tomorrow afternoon.
That was fast.
It was?
Well, usually there's a preliminary hearing and bail hearing and all sorts of hearings before there's an actual trial and witnesses.
True, but sometimes things get fast-tracked.
So, what time tomorrow?
2:30 at the county courthouse?
I'll bring the shirts.
The shirts?
The RCMP shirts Ben and I wore. Ben ran them through the laundry and even ironed them. I think he wanted them out of the house before any of his friends saw them hanging around.
Yes, I guess you might as well bring the shirts. Thank you. And thank you for agreeing to come in and be witnesses.
Well, if we didn't, you could subpoena us anyway.
Oh, yes, I suppose I could.
I guess we'd better dress up respectably for court. Maybe I can even get Ben into his sports jacket.
That would be a nice touch. 2:30 tomorrow, then.
Good gracious, Corporal Kowalchuk. Red serge and all. Very dashing. But a little dressy for a trial, eh?
Oh? Do you think so?
Do you, I-whore?
Ehor.
Oh, I am sorry.
Just get on with it, will you?
Please.
I planned to ask you to be wedding witnesses, but once you started to get it confused, it was too good to...
It was. Thanks.
You see, with my family way on the other side of the country, and Rose's family...
Yeah, I know Rose's family from way back.
Well, you two were the only ones around here that knew about me and Rose and our...
Utterly screwed up rat trap situation.
But how did you... What changed?
Well, I've been angling for a transfer for a long time. But not just any transfer, or it would have been easy. This was a very specific transfer, just from the highways detachment to the town detachment. It meant I only had to move my gear 2 blocks to the other detachment building, but it also means that Ashland Stables and the woman who owns it are no longer in my jurisdiction.
Congratulations. Yeah, sometimes people are like rivers. They take the long way around. Right?
Right.
Hoya, hoya.
Pardon?
It's Ukrainian for sloncha.
Oh, yeah.
But even though I'm in another jurisdiction, Bonnie, I'm still only 2 blocks away from where I was. So if you happen to stumble across any strange mysteries or solutions in Membertou County...
Gee, well,
I'm still available.
Not anymore, you're not.
Waistband on them damn dress-up trousers must have shrunk last time you had them dry cleaned. Near cut me in half.
Must have.
Well, I wonder.
Wonder what?
After all that time they had to spend alone, I wonder what Kowalchuk and Rose are doing right now.
Probably playing pinochle.
Good idea. Got a deck of cards on you?
Maybe you do. Hey, you. Is that the ace of hearts?
You have just heard Response Time, written by John Abelard. And with it, we've come up against the back cover of our volume of stories called Clean Sweep. This was the final episode featuring Deborah Allen as Bonnie Marsden and Richard Donat as her husband Ben. The others in today's cast were Michael Pellerin as Corporal Kowalchuk, Rhonda McLean as Rose Coffin, Susanna Burns as Janet, and Ashley Swain as Melissa. The music was composed by Scott McMillan and David McIsaac and was performed by Gordon Stovey, Jamie Gatti, and Andre Lacroix, along with the two composers. The recording engineer was Pat Martin. Sound effects, Dermot Kenny. The associate producer was Peggy Hemsworth. Casting was by John Dunsworth and Alex Duncan. Clean Sweep was produced and directed in Halifax by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments.